Right now this morning, school lunch price tag. A look at Minnesota's free school meals program and how much it's costing taxpayers. And porch pirates beware. Ahead, some simple steps to protect your holiday deliveries from thieves.
Plus, we have milder temperatures, gusty winds, and rainfall might be moving into the forecast. When I return, we'll be talking about that in just a moment.
Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now, this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us for News 8 Now this morning. I'm Alexandra Carter.
And I'm Art Jarrett.
It is October 24th. 2024.
Nice.
That was blank, but I remembered it.
Well done.
I had some frost on my windshield this morning, so people may need to be aware of that, right?
Yes, they should be, and it's not my fault, by the way, but we have cooler conditions in there. In some cases, we're looking at areas that are at least 25 to 27 degrees cooler than we were 24 hours ago. That being said, breezy and milder today. We start off with increasing clouds gradually through the morning hours. It takes us to at least cloudy skies to fill in into the afternoon. Then we have rainfall coming into the picture, 7 p.m. around there for the evening hours, extending all the way to the midnight hour. Now, by midnight, we should be done, but this rainfall will start to be bulky or start to really pick up a bit, up to about an 80% chance going in and see about 9 o'clock all the way to 11 o'clock into, of course, tapering down after midnight. That being said, here's a look at the temperatures this morning. 36 in Ladysmith. Eau Claire is holding on to 36 as well. La Crosse at 35, but look at Sparta, look at Black River Falls. You remember these two areas were also some of the coldest temperatures in the nation just, what was it, about a week ago? And as we get into it here, we're also going to be seeing the possibility of that these temperatures are so much colder than they were 24 hours ago. When I come back, I'll give you a better overview of how this all plays out, and we'll talk about the rainfall. Stick around.
New this morning, an autopsy is scheduled for later today as a death investigation is underway in Fountain City. According to a release, deputies were called to the undisclosed location yesterday for reports of a death. Someone who lived at the residence told officers the body was that of a 57-year-old woman. That person has not been identified by police. At this time, the Buffalo County Sheriff's Office says there is no threat to the public. The truck driver accused of slashing a man's throat in West Salem is now in custody. 59-year-old Paul Stokes was arrested in Tennessee after a nationwide warrant was issued for his arrest. Police say he attacked another truck driver at a Quick Trip Monday. He's now facing charges of second-degree recklessly endangering safety and substantial battery. He's being held pending extradition back to Wisconsin. The trial of Adam Fravel entering its 6th day today in Mankato as forensic testimony revealed new details about Madeline Kingsbury's death. In court yesterday, a Rochester pathologist testified Kingsbury's body was wrapped in a gray bedsheet with black duct tape. Items prosecutors say matched evidence from the couple's home. The expert also told jurors a towel was tied around Kingsbury's neck, indicating death by asphyxiation. And while toxicology showed a prescribed drug in her system, the exact amount could not be determined. A man accused of driving under the influence in Milwaukee was arrested after his vehicle headed toward Vice President Kamala Harris's motorcade. Police say 55-year-old Wayne Wacker was driving on the wrong side of I-94 and had an open container in his SUV. He failed sobriety tests and was taken into custody. Secret Service says it is aware of the incident and nobody was hurt. With the election now less than 2 weeks away, Donald Trump rallied in Georgia while Vice President Harris faced voters at a CNN town hall. CBS's Jared Hill reports.
In a CNN town hall, Vice President Kamala Harris responding to voter questions on inflation.
We will have a national ban on price gouging.
And immigration.
We have to have a secure border, and we have to have a comprehensive pathway for citizenship.
Harris also going after former President Donald Trump.
Do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do.
Seizing on new comments Trump's ex-chief of staff, John Kelly, made to the New York Times.
He's certainly an authoritarian, admires people who are dictators. He has said that. So he certainly falls into the general definition of fascist, for sure.
He's just putting out a 911 call to the American people.
Trump brought out the fireworks in battleground Georgia.
I will protect our jobs. I will protect our borders. I will protect our families.
But his more charged comments came on social media, slamming Harris as a threat to democracy and his former chief of staff, Kelly, as a lowlife and a bad general whose advice in the White House he no longer sought.
Today, Trump campaigns in Arizona and Nevada, while Vice President Harris and former President Obama will make their first joint appearance in Georgia, where officials recently blocked a suspected foreign cyber attack on the state's voter website. The U.S. Postal Service, meanwhile, laying out its plan to deliver election mail, with officials saying they have more than enough capacity to handle ballots before November 5th. Postal leaders detailed their security and on-time delivery measures during a virtual event, where they talked about security upgrades as well.
We've made significant investments in enhancing the Postal Service's delivery security in its network, including installation of new high security collection boxes, electronic locks, a number of measures that help ensure the security of all mail, including ballots and other election mail.
The Postal Service says in the 2020 election and 2022 midterms, more than 99% of mailed ballots were delivered to election officials within 7 days. And here's where you can cast your vote early today. La Crosse residents can vote at City Hall from 8:30 to 4, or the MOOB Cultural and Community Agency from 9 to 2. If you live in Onalaska, you can head to the city clerk's office from 8 to 6. Third congressional candidate Rebecca Cook met with local business leaders in La Crosse yesterday. The event, put on by the La Crosse Area Chamber of Commerce, focused on her campaign and the state of the economy.
Having ran a small business up in the Eau Claire area, that when I get to Congress, I'm really going to be advocating for our main streets and expanding opportunities for success here in La Crosse and beyond.
Congressman Derek Van Orden also participated in the Chamber's forum on Monday. UW-La Crosse College Democrats speaking out against Project 2025. The Our Fight, Our Future event brought together speakers from the Climate Alliance and County Democratic Party to discuss the Heritage Foundation's 900-page conservative blueprint for a potential second Trump presidency. Students say the plan could negatively impact health care and environmental policies. It's been just over a year since the Minnesota State House passed a bill to give students free meals at school. Adam Duxter takes a look at how the program is doing and the cost after 1 year.
Call it serving in a different way. Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan dishing out breakfast at Oakview Elementary in Maple Grove to mark 1 year of free meals.
I never doubted that this program would change lives, but now we have the incredible data to be able to back it up.
If you're hungry for data, we've got it. 1 year, 870,000 kids statewide, each one getting about 170 free meals. That plates out to 150 million meals combined between breakfast and lunch.
So that means that 150 million times in this past year where a student didn't have to go to class hungry or wonder where their next meal would come from.
Parents Wednesday satisfied.
And so for me as a mom, it makes me, if they forget to eat breakfast at home, I know that they have an option to get it when they get to school.
The state says thanks to the plan, dinner at home can go a little further. Parents saving about $1,000 a kid. But critics are still taking bites out of the program. Some districts opting out, saying they'd prefer having more options, while other critics say the price of it all leaves a bad taste in their mouth. $267 million in just 1 year.
We have made the decision that this is absolutely worth the investment.
$80 million over budget.
We see that attendance numbers have gone up, and I think these investments in feeding children, nutrition, healthy development, when we think about what this means for the long-term overall success of our state, that is a price I think that Minnesotans are absolutely willing to pay.
The Department of Education says it'll explore some federal funding to help cover the cost, some of the cost, that is, of that cost overrun. Time now is 6:09. Still to come, the Boeing union voting to turn down the new contract. We'll tell you what's next. American Airlines fined for a disability violation, and Disney ticket costs set to rise once again.
Protect your deliveries this upcoming holiday season. I'm Christian Benavides with tips on how to ward off porch pirates.
And for now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Might be the easiest observance to participate in. All you have to do is eat. Today is National Food Day. Well, food is food. The day was created to shine a spotlight on healthy eating. First observed in 2011, National Food Day aims to educate how healthy foods can also be affordable and sustainable. And since you likely eat 3 meals a day, you can take part by trying something new, starting a garden, even if it is just a few herbs in your kitchen. Yeah, I love my window herb garden. As you start to wake up this morning, looking pretty here, leaving you with a quick wake-up call. The city that holds the record for the world's largest beer garden. By the way, it has 366 beer taps. Whoa, that is Raleigh, North Carolina, looking nice. Stay with us. Your consumer news is coming up.
Right now at International Furniture, get store-wide fall savings on all the brands you know and trust. Fjords, Durham Bedroom, Norwalk, Hooker, Flex Steel, and Hancock and more. Hurry in today for the best selection and savings. International Furniture, I-90 Exit 2, La Crosse.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and like most folks in Wisconsin, I'm somewhere in the middle.
Oh, please. Don't be fooled by Rebecca Cook. She made her living trying to elect Democrat extremists. Cook proudly supported radicals who want to defund police, end cash bail, and throw open the border. No wonder extremists like AOC are spending big bucks to elect liberals like Cook. Rebecca Cook, just another liberal trying to fool you. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
It's Ford SUV season in the Northland. Time for great offers across the entire lineup, including Ford Explorer, America's all-time best-selling SUV. Get ready for the coming season with weather-ready features that make life easier, like heated seating, a heated steering wheel, and remote start. Amazing offers on your favorite Ford SUVs. This is Ford SUV season. Now lease a new 2024 Ford Bronco Sport for just $309 a month for 36 months. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers. Insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Kamala wouldn't change a thing? Their weakness invited wars, welfare for illegals, while Americans struggle. Now Kamala wants higher taxes on top of higher prices. We can't afford 4 more years of Kamala.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Lane's Farm and Fleet's Fall Workwear event is going on now. We've got unbeatable deals on quality boots and apparel to help your hard-earned dollars go further. Like men's Wrangler, cargo, and work pants, half price, just $27.49 while supplies last. All Wolverine and Cat work boots are on sale, 20% off. And get $30 in Carhartt bucks for every $125 you spend on Carhartt gear.
The hardest working people in America find value at Lane's Farm and Fleet.
Racist and offensive. Ryan Hipsch's social media history tells us who he really is. In one post, Hipsch said that he wanted a hat with the N-word embroidered on it. In another, Hipsch aims a rifle and comments that he can't wait to kill Muslims using a slur. Then wrote, LOL, that was racist. And that's just the beginning. Hipsch's social media posts are full of degrading terms for women and people with disabilities. Tell Ryan Hipsch that his agenda is too extreme for the Coulee region.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal, come have a taste of Wisconsin.
America's Dairyland.
As in real dairy.
It gives Culver's fresh frozen custard its famous rich and creamy flavor.
Like really rich.
So rich.
Rich and creamy.
And our cook-to-order Butterburgers?
They're topped with, you guessed it, Wisconsin cheese.
But it's the smiles we put on your face with every meal made just for you.
That really makes our hearts melt.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Right now at International Furniture, get store-wide fall savings on all the brands you know and trust. Fjords, Durham Bedroom, Norwalk, Hooker, Flex Steel, and Hancock and more. Hurry in today for the best selection and savings. International Furniture, I-90 Exit 2, La Crosse.
Well, good morning to you. We have temperatures that are going to be a little bit on the mild side today, and showers possibly as we go right down. I should say likely going into the evening hours. It's going to be a 40 to about an 80% chance through the evening, and that should finish us about the midnight hour. Now, as we start earlier this morning, this is what I've got going on for you here. Let's take a quick peek here as we go right back into it. We're going to be seeing widespread 60s today as well, so we'll be picking up conditions to play out like this. Current temperatures out of the wider view here, mostly in the 40s and the 50s, but we get closer to home. you're going to be seeing those 30s mixing in the picture. You've got some 20s in there as well. Black River Falls, Sparta, Vokefield. Temperatures are much colder, so you may find yourself with a little bit of frostbite there on your windshield, as Alexander's already said. The only thing is there aren't any advisories currently. So that being said, take it maybe a half an hour, a little bit earlier to get off to work, get the kids to school as well. And if they're going on the bus, well, if you're heading out that way, you may want to make sure they're bundled up because it is really chilly out there. That being said, hey, look at the winds. We go right into it today. The winds will pick up as we get into the 11 o'clock hour, then go through the afternoon to be a bit breezy and gusty, and then eventually they'll taper down. Then they'll pick back up as they go into tomorrow as well, even more so, up to 25 miles per hour with breezy winds for tomorrow with sunnier skies. Right now, though, Eau Claire, as we get into the 8 o'clock hour, you're going to be looking at 39 degrees with increasing conditions to 64 by 2 o'clock. La Crosse doing the same, 37 degrees, about 63 degrees with mostly cloudy skies on the way. You're also looking at your highs for today, widespread 60s out there with a 20% chance of rain through the daytime. In the evening hours, I mentioned 40 to 80% chance of rainfall with the possibility of a storm or two working in the forecast. When I come back, I'll have more about this for you in just a bit.
In your consumer news this morning, more bad news for Boeing. A strike of about 33,000 workers will continue after union members voted down a proposed contract deal. That means Boeing's airplane manufacturing is likely to remain at a standstill. Boeing's latest contract offer of a 35% raise over 4 years was better than its last one of 25%, but many union members say they still want more, especially the return of their pensions. The federal government issuing a $50 million fine against American Airlines. A multi-agency investigation uncovered repeat violations of rules designed to protect airline passengers who use wheelchairs. The investigation, led by the Department of Transportation, found American had serious violations of disabled passenger rules between 2019 and last year. And Disney World ticket prices for next year's holiday season will hit all-time highs. Magic Kingdom tickets for November and December of 2025 are set to top out at $199 on some dates. That's a $10 hike from the most expensive tickets this year. Park prices for the other 10 months of 2025 will hold steady. The cost for one-day, one-park passes for guests over the age of 9 at all 4 of Disney's parks range from $119 to $199 each. A new Florida law aims to send porch pirates packing, making the theft of goods above a certain dollar amount a felony. And with the holiday gift-giving season approaching, Christian Benavides introduces us to one Southern Florida homeowner whose doorbell camera captured a pirate in the act.
And he just walked up like he didn't care.
Pinecrest homeowner Donovan Clough's Ring camera captured the brazen daylight theft of one of his package deliveries. Clough posted the video online and found out his neighbors had been targeted too.
In the last 2 months, every house on the street has been a victim of either a car break-in or a porch theft.
A new Florida law in effect this month makes theft of stolen goods worth $40 or more a felony in an attempt to crack down on porch piracy. Data from security.org show package thieves lifted more than $8 billion worth of merchandise in 2023. 44% of Americans reported having a package stolen. 17% said it had happened within 3 months of that survey. Luckily for Clough, getting the word out paid off.
The culprit saw his picture on Facebook and on the news and ended up turning himself in.
Law enforcement relies heavily on doorbell cameras to catch these porch pirates, and many companies take pictures of packages when they leave them.
We've had individuals whose medication actually have been stolen.
Miami Police Public Information Officer Kiera Delva says the department is taking these crimes seriously, especially as the holiday season approaches. To keep pirates at bay, install a doorbell camera and make it clear your property is under surveillance. Bring packages inside promptly. Choose a delivery time when you're home. Request a signature.
If you are comfortable enough to speak with your neighbors, maybe have them be on the lookout for your packages, and that way they can hold on to it for you.
Clough also hopes a little goodwill goes a long way to end piracy.
I would hope that people would have a little more decency than to not steal from their neighbors or the people in their community.
Nevertheless, he's got eyes on the front door.
Several states designate porch piracy as a felony already. These state laws mainly target deliveries from companies like Amazon or FedEx. U.S. Postal Service theft is a federal crime. That's it for your morning consumer news. Time now is 6:19. Let's check in with News 8 meteorologist Art Jarrett for a look at our forecast.
How about a bit of a burr out there? Well, once the winds begin to pick up, that cooler air, that'll eventually start to get us into closer to the 40s and the 50s as we go closer to the noon hour. You're going to be seeing that wind start to pick up, and it's going to be a little bit cooler on your skin this early morning and the late morning as well. That being said, take a look at the clouds that are moving through the area right now. We'll put them on the increase and get to at least mostly cloudy skies within the next few hours there. That being said, right now we're at partly cloudy conditions. We're holding on to 30s and some 20s out there currently right now, near 40 degrees for Decorah. You're looking at least 35 for La Crosse now. We've cooled down a couple of degrees. Eau Claire's cooled down at least 1 now. We're also picking up as we go right back into Black River Falls, Sparta, and of course Vogue Field. They're now in that frosty conditions currently, but there are no alerts right now, just to let you be advised about that. We're also seeing, again, as the 24-hour temperature change is showing how much colder or cooler we are from 24 hours ago. 28 degrees cooler areas by Sparta, Black River Falls 26 here locally for us, 18 getting up to Eau Claire. They're about 12 degrees cooler, and then getting into it's about 25 once you get down to Bosco Bell. That being said, current dew points, look how chilly they are right now. We are bone dry right now. Believe it or not, we're going to get some rainfall coming into the evening hours though. Patchy to dense fog out there, still holding on for areas right by Bosco Bell. That'll start to sneak over to Prairie du Chien as well as Viroqua, and as that happens, we may get a little bit more of that fog kind of moving into the southern portions of our valleys going into La Crosse. That being said, that area of high pressure still holding on. That's going to scoot on over all the way to Ohio. That's going to allow all this moisture to feel free to move right back on in as we get into the evening hours. Cooler and breezier conditions, as I've already mentioned before, because of that, with all that close proximity to a low and high. Once that gets out of the way, we'll get into breezy and gusty conditions, continue that into tomorrow as well, and so bear that in mind for your day. But today will be, or tomorrow will be much nicer out there, out and about. Average highs usually around 52 to 58 degrees this time of year, and the lows in the 30s. And you can see widespread, but you know we're much colder in some of those locations and continue to dip down as the hours continue to progress. Look at the evening hours though. We're going to be seeing temperatures from 58 to right through the mid to low 50s. We have the rainfall possibilities coming in. So between 7 though and 8 o'clock, we have a bit of a break, but it's going to pick up as we go into the 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and 11 o'clock. Those are our heaviest rainfall hours. And then by the midnight hour, they're out of the way. Once we get into the 10 o'clock hour, you can see the bulk of rainfall that's out there. Right now, we're not seeing a lot in storm activity just yet, but we will possibly get that coming in. So don't let that out of your mind. Here's a look at the rainfall. We're at least up to about a quarter of an inch to a half an inch of rain on the way. 60s widespread today. And of course, get out and enjoy the weekend when you get into all of this fall leaves that are out there right now. It's going to be fantastic. The weather will be a little bit cooler, but picking up by Sunday, you're going to be seeing temperatures from 58 degrees on Saturday here locally, and then at least 64 degrees on Sunday with more sunshine. 70s are on the way.
Thank you, Art. The time now is 6:22, still ahead. Troubling news for younger Americans as stroke rates are surging among adults under 50. Ahead, why doctors say no age group is immune, and the warning signs everyone needs to know.
Coming up in the Blitz, the Viterbo volleyball team looking to keep the good times rolling in conference play. Plus, the UW Lacrosse women's soccer team looks to extend their unbeaten streak. Highlights coming your way in just a moment.
We're an implant-focused practice. I think the advantage of a father-daughter practice is, I've been at this for 30 years now. I learned things that worked well and things that didn't work so well.
And it was fun to be able to just jump in and kind of complement that. I feel like it made both of us stronger. You don't expect it when you walk into a dental office. You don't expect the family aspect, but when you walk into our doors, we're going to give you that.
If you think you have a full mouth of challenges, come see us. Come down for a free consultation.
He's supposed to serve Wisconsin, but Derek Van Orden doesn't care about making our lives better. Van Orden wants to repeal the law that stops insurance companies from denying coverage if you have a pre-existing health condition. He'd make Wisconsinites pay just to give huge tax cuts to corporations and the wealthy. Van Orden even sides with extremists who tried to cut Social Security. Wisconsin deserves better, and Derek Van Orden does not belong in Congress.
HMP is responsible for the content of this advertising. I believe in bringing people together like my family and neighbors did when I was growing up on the north side of La Crosse. And now that I'm in the state legislature, it's why I focus on bipartisanship, because my whole being is focused on bringing people together to find solutions to make everyone a winner. I've appreciated the opportunity to be your state representative, and if I'm reelected, that's what I'm going to continue to do. My entire focus will be on bringing people together to make Wisconsin a better state.
Under Kamala, there's been a big hike in Medicare premiums. Social Security benefits don't go far with Kamala's inflation slamming seniors. Now Kamala wants struggling seniors to pay more Social Security taxes, while she gives Medicare and Social Security to illegals. That will doom Medicare. President Trump will make sure no one cuts Medicare or Social Security. Trump lowered Medicare premiums, and he'll end the tax on Social Security.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Tammy Baldwin has our back. Tammy broke the law to make sure American projects are made with American iron and steel.
Thanks to Tammy Baldwin, my daughter's inhaler is now only $35 a month.
Tammy's Dairy Business Innovation Act has helped us hire more workers.
Tammy Baldwin's leading the charge to restore Roe v. Wade.
Tammy Baldwin fought like hell to save my retirement.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
To have someone in Washington that's got your back, oh man, that's gold.
Hurry in and update your home's exterior now at Menards. Cedar Creek Vinyl Siding is do-it-yourself friendly and low maintenance. It's ready to install and available in 16 color options. Get an 11% rebate and all Cedar Creek Vinyl Siding. Complement your home with a new garage door. Menards has the largest selection of in-stock and custom-designed garage doors. This 9x7 garage door is only $399.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Welcome to the Blitz. With yesterday being Wednesday, we take a quick pause on high school sports, continuing into their respective postseasons. But on the collegiate side, a couple of successful squads looking for some wins as they approach playoffs. Number 5 in the country, Viterbo in action, hosting Governor State. And we begin with the hometown kids starting out on point as Izzy Jar slams one down for the kill. The Holman grad had 8 on the night. Then it was Jada Mitchell's turn. Here's the perfect set from Maddie Connor. And there goes Mitchell. Governor State could not handle the heat on that one. The Connor-Mitchell combo was just getting started. Here it is again as she hammers it home, and she'd have 10 of them on the night. And then Mitchell showing off her defensive skills as well as she rejects the spike attempt. The V-Hawks remain unbeaten in league play on the year, a perfect 10-0 against Chicagoland Conference foes. UW La Crosse women's soccer team hasn't lost a match in almost a month. Picked this one up late first half. Lots of scoring early. UWL up 3-1. Stout looking to keep it close, but it's Erilyn Appel, freshman, coming up big in net before the half. Then early in the second half, Ellie Benke is going to send it up to Maya Tessing, who would come down with it, dump it down to Jillian Sawadsky, who puts it past the goalkeeper to extend UWL's lead by 3. Eagles can clinch at least a share of the WIAC title on Saturday against Eau Claire. And game 1 of 82 for the Bucks, and it's Giannis getting the action going early on in this one. The tough take to the cup goes. Then later in the opening frame, see if he can be consistent with that shot. Then look out NBA. Second quarter, it's Giannis facilitating. He hits Pat Connaughton, who rises and fires from downtown, sticking the triple. And this is who Bucks fans should be pumped about. Damian Lillard looked good last night as he drills the 3. Milwaukee goes on to take the season opener on the road by a final of 124-109. Nominees for the latest edition of the News 8 Play of the Week are live. Head to news8000.com/sports to go cast your vote. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
From cozy breakfast nooks to formal dining areas, Ashley has versatile dining options that fit any space and style, starting at just $499.99. And receive a $250 mattress credit with the purchase of any 6-piece bedroom set. Only at Ashley. Shop more deals in-store and online.
My husband and I were elated to find out that we would be having another baby. But after many tests, my doctors agreed that we had to terminate the pregnancy. It was the worst day of my life. You should know that Eric Hubdy supports laws that stop me and my doctor from making that decision. And that's a ban with no exceptions in cases of rape or incest. It's a ban that could turn doctors into criminals. He opposes abortion, period.
Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
Welcome to Washington, D.C. You got a bunch of loudmouth, preening politicians. It's absolute chaos. I'm Derek Van Orden, and after 26 years as a Navy SEAL, there's a few things that I learned. You stay on mission, you know what you're fighting for, and sometimes you gotta get a little dirty to finish the job. Let's go, kids. Not you. Not you. You. Let's go. I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure. With power you can count on. Capability that doesn't compromise. A hard-working EV with more range than any competitor. And the potential to take you anywhere.
Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups. Or get $5,750 total value on this Silverado. Visit HometownChevy.com.
I thought I knew Tammy Baldwin.
I thought I knew Tammy Baldwin.
But boy, is she extreme.
Tammy's open border policies flooded Wisconsin with fentanyl and criminals.
Her bill to force women to share locker rooms with biological men? Dangerous.
And Tammy's done nothing to lower the cost of living.
In fact, she helped cause the crisis.
25 years is enough.
It's enough.
It's enough.
It's time for Tammy Baldwin to go. Fix Washington PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I've been with U.S. Cellular for 27 years. They've always taken care of me. But when they asked me to talk to you about their special customer event, Us Days, I said, I gotta get in shape. So they sent me this Hollywood trainer. Oh, this guy's no joke. Us Days means exclusive deals just for us customers.
Now let's try burpees.
Us Days is back at U.S. Cellular. Current customers get $1,200 off any phone, plus $400 off any tablet.
Eric Hovde's trying to scare you. The truth is, no sex change surgeries take place on minors in Wisconsin. 0. And Tammy Baldwin didn't give funding to a transgender clinic. It's actually a youth homeless shelter. Eric Hovde knows that. But he's a billionaire banker who thinks he can lie about anything, including falsely attacking Tammy Baldwin by questioning her personal life. Wisconsin's better than Eric Hovde.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Looking for a better night's sleep? Ashley Sleep offers 3 different mattress lines for every body, from soft, cloud-like comfort to firm next-level support. Or wake up on the bright side of the bed with a Nectar mattress starting at $7.99. Now available at Ashley. Shop more deals in-store and online.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
In your morning medical news, most strokes happen to people 65 and older, but in the U.S., strokes are becoming more common in younger adults. Getting medical help quickly improves your chances of survival, but experts say many may ignore or not even recognize the symptoms. Mandy Gaylor has stroke warning signs every adult should know, regardless of how old you are.
The exact cause is still unknown, but around the world, more strokes are striking younger adults ages 18 to 49. Rate of stroke deaths among middle-aged U.S. adults hit a nearly 2-decade high during the COVID pandemic, according to the CDC.
It certainly is concerning.
Dr. Abbas Kural led research at Cleveland Clinic to figure out why younger patients he was seeing were having something called large vessel occlusion, which can cause an ischemic stroke, meaning a major artery in the brain is blocked.
The strokes that happen as a result of large vessel occlusion really happen because of plaque buildup, what we call atherosclerosis. And our study actually showed that those with strokes from large artery atherosclerosis or plaque buildup actually did worse after treatment.
Kural says that buildup can come from risk factors like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, smoking, a sedentary lifestyle, and unhealthy dietary habits.
That's why it's very important to make sure that even younger adults are seeing their primary care doctors, getting checked for those stroke risk factors, and if they have them, to make sure they're as controlled as possible.
Kural says all adults should also know stroke warning signs like eye or gaze deviation, one-sided weakness, arm or leg weakness, facial droop, and slurred speech. If these symptoms are present, get emergency help.
No age group is immune to stroke.
The researchers say of those younger adult patients studied, nearly half did not receive any treatment despite having a severe stroke. The doctor says many didn't get help in time to have been candidates for either clot bursting medication or a clot removal. He says further research is needed to determine the barriers to treatment. And the CDC recommending people age 65 and up get the second dose of this season's COVID vaccine. Experts say people who are moderately or severely immunocompromised should follow suit. The government agency said the second dose of the vaccine should be administered 6 months after receiving the first. The recommendation also suggests those who are immunocompromised could get additional doses if your doctor recommends it. A new study finding a quick shake of the head after a hard hit could be a sign of a concussion. After surveying hundreds of young adults who played a sport at the high school, college, or semi-pro level, researchers found the majority of the athletes were familiar with the gesture and had even experienced it themselves. In nearly 3 out of 4 cases, those surveyed said they had a concussion at the time of the shake. The study authors said the formal recognition of shake as a sign of concussion could help identify undiagnosed cases. A growing need for mental health care has led to a major expansion in Winona. The Hiawatha Valley Mental Health Center has nearly doubled in size, adding more private offices and community program spaces to better serve its clients. The facility showed off its new space during an open house yesterday. Coffee delivery is brewing up life skills for special education students in Westby. Students there are learning confidence and workplace skills as they take teacher coffee orders every morning and deliver them right to the classroom. The program started last year when 2 teachers saw an opportunity to give their students some hands-on experience.
The students are learning social skills, money handling skills, barista skills on making the coffee. It's been a month into it right now, and it's been a huge success for us.
The coffee cart is in partnership with local cafe Daily Brew Co., which provides material at cost for the cart. Bruce Hollis grew up driving John Deere tractors on his grandparents' farm, but never bought one of his own. Now, after beating his battle with cancer, he's getting his first chance to finally have a tractor of his own. News 8 Now's Jeremy Wall reports.
I have always wanted a John Deere tractor.
We first introduced you to Bruce Hollis last May when he won Tractor Central's Mow Your Grass Off contest. The prize? A brand new John Deere lawn tractor. A reward enough for any of us, but for a survivor of bladder cancer, a gift within a gift. For Hollis, using a push mower was painful for him.
And I was told I was the winner of this year's contest. Couldn't believe it.
His love for John Deere tractors goes back to childhood.
John Deere's been a part of my family for years. I spent all my summers after I got out of school, from grade school clear through till the time I graduated high school. I stayed on my grandparents' farm and helped my grandfather farm. So I was in the fields every day driving these tractors.
Despite his childhood experiences, Hollis never owned one of his own, or had a real need for one until his diagnosis. And when the folks at John Deere learned the winner of their mower had such a special story to tell, they did something they don't normally do. Inviting him to tour the factory where his tractor was made and meet the folks who built it.
Actually see how they're manufactured, especially my specific mower, is just amazing.
The folks at the factory say they were amazed by Bruce Hollis.
It's a great opportunity for us to actually see and present our product to a real customer. You know, we're building these units sometimes not knowing who's going to be driving it at the end. And it's so cool to actually see real customer come through the door, sharing their stories, and see how our product is built.
In Horicon, Jeremy Wall, News 8 Now this morning.
At the end of the tour, Hollis received a signed photo of his John Deere tractor, another way to remember his visit. The time now is 6:38. Let's check in with Art to tell us what to expect on our morning commute. Art, I'm glad you bought a nice scraper.
I know, right? Yeah, it was really comfortable for that, getting that frost off the windshield the other day. Thank you for that, Alexandra. We're looking at milder conditions on the way for it. And I should say, nothing runs smoother or better than a Deere, by the way. Milder conditions for you. We get into widespread 60s. By this evening, we're looking at an 80% chance of rainfall moving into the picture. Could be some storms associated with that as well. Some of the models have been showing that. It looks pretty decent. or we could see about a half an inch of rainfall on the way. Now we get out of this, you're going to be seeing temperatures locally here. We're going to see how much colder we are than the temperatures that I showed you. 22 Black River Falls, 22 Sparta, Volkfield 28, La Crosse 35, continuing to cool, 36 in Eau Claire. We're looking at warmer conditions west of the Mississippi River, but down to the south we're looking at widespread 30s and 20s there. Not much in the way of any type of alerts going on as far as frost is concerned, but it is cooler out there. We're also looking at Eau Claire holding on to temperatures warming gradually, getting from the 30s to the 60s as we go into the afternoon. We'll do La Crosse the same, getting at least from 37 up to 63 degrees with mostly cloudy skies, with those clouds increasing on us through the daytime to cloudy conditions later on in the evening. Mostly cloudy skies expected today, 20% chance of rain for the afternoon, widespread 60s for you. And as we roll into it, here's a look at that rainfall sneaking in, going into the 9 o'clock hour, where we see it becoming some of the heaviest rainfall by the 10 o'clock hour, widespread across the area, and then continuing all the way into 11 o'clock, and we're done by the midnight hour. All right, coming up in our Buzz Report, the John Wick franchise might not have been possible without financial help from a certain celebrity. Stay with us, we'll let you know.
When you see Stacey Klein, think 1849. She supports the 1849 law that would ban abortion. No exceptions for rape, incest, or to save the mother. Don't let Klein take us back to 1849.
My husband and I were elated to find out that we would be having another baby. But after many tests, my doctors agreed that we had to terminate the pregnancy. It was the worst day of my life. You should know that Eric Hovde supports laws that stop me and my doctor from making that decision. And that's a ban with no exceptions in cases of rape or incest. It's a ban that could turn doctors into criminals. He opposes abortion, period.
Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
Politics these days stinks. Too much hot air, and you know what else. But I'm no stranger to putting in a hard day's work and getting the job done. I have a history of bipartisan accomplishments. It's a hard job, but I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty. I can reach across the aisle and pass good bills just as easily as I can walk across the barnyard with my shovel. So whether it's doing chores on the farm or passing bills in Madison, I'm Steve Doyle, and I'm ready to get back to work for you.
This illegal immigrant was recently arrested in southwestern Wisconsin for a sexually violent attack on a woman, a suspected Venezuelan gang member who entered the U.S. just last year. Unfortunately, Steve Doyle supports sanctuary cities that protect criminals like this, and Doyle opposed sending resources to secure the border to keep dangerous criminals like Alejandro Jose Coronel Zarate away from our families. Steve Doyle's failures are destroying Wisconsin lives. Steve Doyle, unwilling to secure the border, unfit to serve.
He's supposed to serve Wisconsin, but Derek Van Orden doesn't care about making our lives better. Van Orden wants to repeal the law that stops insurance companies from denying coverage if you have a pre-existing health condition. He'd make Wisconsinites pay just to give huge tax cuts to corporations and the wealthy. Van Orden even sides with extremists who tried to cut Social Security. Wisconsin deserves better, and Derek Van Orden does not belong in Congress.
HMP is responsible for the content of this advertising.
We know we cannot have a strong middle class without American manufacturing. Under Donald Trump, America lost nearly 200,000 manufacturing jobs. His record is a disaster for working people. Under my plan, we will invest in the industries that built America, because ours is a fight for the future. I come from the middle class, and I will never forget where I come from.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Sometimes a celebration means fireworks and loud music. I'll just tell you that I'm celebrating 35 years at the board store, 80 years on the planet, and my daughter Danielle becoming the new general manager of the board store. Let what's personal to me be personal to you with savings on your next home improvement.
Call for a prompt free estimate on windows and doors, on siding or gutters, on a bathroom or a kitchen, on a sunroom or deck.
Better products.
Better people.
Better prices.
The Board Store, improving your home, improving your life.
When you see Stacey Klein, think 1849. She supports the 1849 law that would ban abortion. No exceptions for rape, incest, or to save the mother. Don't let Klein take us back to 1849.
All right, as we get into it here, once again, I'm going to show you that rainfall that's going to sneak into the picture here. Slowly but surely, this rainfall is going to pop into your forecast. And of course, you can see milder conditions on the way. We're looking at showers coming into the area as well. So widespread rainfall, showers into the picture. We're going to see at least a 40 to 80% chance of that happening with storm potential on the way as well. We'll also see, as I showed you earlier, you're looking at the temperatures. We are not as cold as some of these locations you're seeing. We get into closer conditions, you're going to be seeing, yeah, we are much colder in some of these locations down to the south. You're seeing it's just 20s, those 20s all the way from Sparta, Black River Falls. That continues on. As I showed you before, you're going to hold on to clouds coming and going today. So right now we're looking at clearing skies currently by the 8 o'clock hour. Then we get into mostly cloudy skies moving into the picture. La Crosse will do the same thing. Highs today, you're holding on to those 30s rolling into pictures for the early morning first to start. Then the 60s ensue. We'll see them widespread today. We get into the forecast slowly but surely as we go into the 8 o'clock hour. This rainfall pops across the Mississippi. We see it coming in by the 9 o'clock hour. That's when it starts to move over into Eau Claire, Ladysmith, and of course this system tightens up a little bit. You'll see it get a breezier as well with rainfall moving into the picture. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and once we get to the midnight hour, that rainfall will be out of the way. You can still see it by the 11 o'clock hour. La Crosse is still in the rainfall. Eau Claire is in the mix of rain and maybe a shower or two, getting into maybe a storm kind of getting out of the way. It breaks down. Ladysmith is pretty much in the clear. Eau Claire is in the clear. La Crosse is in the clear as we get into the midnight hour. And then as it tracks out of the way, we go into 2 o'clock. That rainfall is out of the area. Now, that being said, you're going to be seeing temperatures, again, drop down into be very cool and chilly conditions. We're also looking at about ½ an inch of rainfall in the forecast. That will continue for some locations, even some lower amounts down to the south. That being said, that's going to be from 4 p.m. today all the way to 4 a.m. for tomorrow. That's what I have it for. Take a look at the 7 p.m. to midnight rainfall forecast. Now you're looking at it at least 7 p.m. You've got some light rainfall coming in for your evening commute. Then we take a break going into the 8 o'clock hour. That rainfall starts to come back once it crosses the Mississippi. We'll pick it up. We'll see temperatures in the 50s, breezy winds, gusty conditions. Now these are sustained winds. The winds are going to be at least up to about 22 miles per hour in some cases. And then we'll see that rainfall continuing to the 11 o'clock hour and then midnight, and it's up and out. When I come back, I'll give you a better overview of how this all plays out for you. So please stick around. Back to you, Alexandra.
In our Morning Buzz report, Cardi B says she won't be performing at an Atlanta music festival this weekend due to a medical emergency. The 32-year-old rapper sharing on Instagram she's been in the hospital the last couple of days and won't be able to perform. She also stated she'll be back better and stronger soon. No more details of the medical emergency or her current condition were released. Samuel L. Jackson honored Wednesday at the Museum of Modern Art's 2024 film benefit. The Museum of Modern Art has a department of film dedicated to preserving movies. Jackson has appeared in more than 150 films, but some of his most popular roles are in Quentin Tarantino features. That includes Jackie Brown, Kill Bill, and of course, Pulp Fiction.
The Pope is dead. The throne is vacant.
The conclave begins now.
An Oscar-winning filmmaker and an A-list cast are combining for a thriller in theaters this weekend. Set in one of the most famous and mysterious places in the world, Conclave is set to be released in theaters tomorrow.
Daisy. To pull you back in.
John Wick was in trouble, not the character, but the movie. The directors tell Business Insider that funding for the 2014 action flick that launched a franchise was $6 million short less than a week before filming. Eva Longoria is who came through with the money. It was her first major producer credit. She now has dozens of such credits and her own production company. All right, very cool there.
Maybe I should have been on Desperate Housewives.
Yeah.
I mean, wow, that's impressive.
Desperate House Husband, you would have been, right?
Sure.
Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
All right, Emerson is turning 18. She loves to play volleyball, basketball, and softball.
Happy birthday. And if you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
Yeah, that's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab.
The time now is 6:48. Stay with us. We have everything you need to know in 5 minutes or less. Your morning news now is coming up next.
Coming up on CBS Mornings, heart disease is a leading cause of death in the United States, and it's only getting worse. Dr. Celine Gounder will be here to tell us why and what you can do to stay healthy. Plus, if you've ever watched a Broadway show, then you probably read a playbill too. Anthony Mason shows us how this iconic magazine is celebrating its 140th anniversary. And you may know him as Roy Kent from Ted Lasso. There he is. Actor Brett Goldstein will be here. Tell us about his new comedy, Shrinking. And the one and only John Legend joins us in studio today to offer you some great deals on his loved one skincare line. We'll see you 7 o'clock on the dot.
Racist and offensive. Ryan Hipsch's social media history tells us who he really is. In one post, Hipsch said that he wanted a hat with the N-word embroidered on it. In another, Hipsch aims a rifle and comments that he can't wait to kill Muslims using a slur. Then wrote, LOL, that was racist. And that's just the beginning. Hipsch's social media posts are full of degrading terms for women and people with disabilities. Tell Ryan Hipsch that his agenda is too extreme for the Cooley region.
Insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Kamala wouldn't change a thing? Their weakness invited wars, welfare for illegals, while Americans struggle. Now Kamala wants higher taxes on top of higher prices. We can't afford 4 more years of Kamala.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
I thought I knew Tammy Baldwin.
I thought I knew Tammy Baldwin.
But boy, is she extreme.
Tammy's open border policies flooded Wisconsin with fentanyl and criminals.
Her bill to force women to share locker rooms with biological men? Dangerous.
And Tammy's done nothing to lower the cost of living.
In fact, she helped cause the crisis.
25 years is enough.
It's enough.
It's enough.
It's time for Tammy Baldwin to go. Fix Washington PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
If you want selection, then that's what we've got at King Furniture. More mattresses. Did you know you spend a third of your life sleeping? So you better have the best mattress you possibly can. And we have those here at King Furniture with a huge selection to choose from in every price range. Lay down and relax. Take the time to find the exact mattress you want because you're going to be sleeping on this for a while.
King Furniture.
Nice people, nice furniture.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and like most folks in Wisconsin, I'm somewhere in the middle.
Oh, please. Don't be fooled by Rebecca Cook. She made her living trying to elect Democrat extremists. Cook proudly supported radicals who want to defund police, end cash bail, and throw open the border. No wonder extremists like AOC are spending big bucks to elect liberals like Cook. Rebecca Cook, just another liberal trying to fool you. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Eric Hovde's trying to scare you. The truth is, no sex change surgeries take place on minors in Wisconsin. 0. And Tammy Baldwin didn't give funding to a transgender clinic. It's actually a youth homeless shelter. Eric Hovde knows that. But he's a billionaire banker who thinks he can lie about anything, including falsely attacking Tammy Baldwin by questioning her personal life. Wisconsin's better than Eric Hovde.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Welcome back. It's 6:52. Time for your morning news now. New this morning, an autopsy is scheduled for later today as a death investigation is underway in Fountain City. According to a press release, deputies were called to the undisclosed location yesterday for reports of a death. Somebody who also lived at the residence told officers the body was an unidentified 57-year-old woman. At this time, the Buffalo County Sheriff's Office says there's no threat to the public. The truck driver accused of slashing another truck driver's throat in West Salem is now in custody. 59-year-old Paul Stokes was arrested in Tennessee after a nationwide warrant was out for his arrest. Police say he attacked another truck driver at a Quick Trip Monday. Stokes faces charges of second-degree recklessly endangering safety and substantial battery. He's waiting to be extradited back to Wisconsin. The trial of Adam Fravel will enter its 6th day in Mankato in just a few hours as forensic testimony reveals new details about Madeline Kingsbury's death. In court yesterday, a Rochester pathologist testified Kingsbury's body was wrapped in a gray bedsheet with black duct tape. Evidence from the couple's home, it matched with that. The expert also told jurors a towel was tied around Kingsbury's neck, indicating death by asphyxiation. Vice President Kamala Harris said in a live CNN town hall she believes former President Donald Trump is a fascist. Those comments followed the release of taped interviews of John Kelly by the New York Times. Trump's longest-serving White House chief of staff said his former boss could govern as a dictator if elected, and corroborated reports that Trump spoke favorably about Hitler. On social media, Trump called Kelly dumb and a lowlife and accused him of making stories up. Third congressional candidate Rebecca Cook met with local business leaders in La Crosse. The event put on by the La Crosse Area Chamber of Commerce focused on Cook's campaign and the state of the economy.
Having ran a small business up in the Eau Claire area, that when I get to Congress, I'm really going to be advocating for our main streets and expanding opportunities for success here in La Crosse and beyond.
Congressman Derek Van Orden also participated in that same Chamber of Commerce forum on Monday. If you're looking to vote early today, here's where you can do so. La Crosse residents can vote at City Hall from 8:30 to 4 or the Moob Cultural and Community Agency from 9 to 2. If you live in Onalaska, you can head to the city clerk's office from 8 to 6. A growing need for mental health care has led to a major expansion in Winona. The Hiawatha Valley Mental Health Center has nearly doubled in size, adding more private offices and community program spaces to better serve clients. The facility showed off its new space during an open house yesterday. Coffee delivery is brewing up life skills for special education students in Westby. Students there learning confidence in the workplace as they take teacher coffee orders and deliver them. The program started last year when 2 teachers saw an opportunity to give their students some hands-on experience.
The students are learning social skills, money handling skills, barista skills on making the coffee. It's been a month into it right now, and it's been a huge success for us.
The coffee cart is in partnership with local cafe Daily Brew Co., which provides materials at cost.
All right, as we go into our local weather here, local temperatures right now are 22 to 39 degrees out there, a little frosty. Once we get into the afternoon, we'll get you into the widespread 60s, but then we've got rainfall coming in the evening. It's going to be the heaviest once we get into the 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and 11 o'clock hours, and then up and out it goes, and we are clear. There's a look at what we're picking up to a ½ inch of rainfall possible with temperatures in the 60s. We'll take it into, again, a good-looking weekend with the potential for more areas to get out and watch those leaves fall out. Their temperatures will begin to cool over the weekend and then warm up back into next week.
All right, a Boston car wash is adding pumpkin spice to its Ultra Shine service, giving cars the scent of fall's favorite latte. But the seasonal scent serves a bigger purpose, with November proceeds helping community servings, which provides holiday meals to ill and at-risk families. Do you like pumpkin spice?
I'm gonna go get one today, man.
You are?
Well,
you feeling inspired?
No.
You might, though.
I might.
You do like your daily coffee. I know
do.
that.
I do.
And you got me a spider donut yesterday. I appreciate that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Thank you for starting your morning with us. We'll see you back here at noon. Until then, have a great day.